to discuss that for a bit.
Right now?
Brian, have you watched the show?
Yeah. I don't know what new episodes come out on Tuesdays for that one, right?
Yeah, last episode was
the fight. Excuse me. The final episode is out.
Yeah, episode 8, the monsters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen it. Okay, the monsters. Yeah.
I wouldn't have known the name of the episode, but yes, I literally just.
I wouldn't have known it, but when you said it, I was like, oh, that's right.
Monsters, or something. I don't know.
I mean, that checks out for what happens in the episodes. That's
yeah.
It's just a weird coincidence. Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying Alien Earth. It's got its own feel to it, its own life, and I like that. It's
sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you for half a second. Are we going to? I was thinking we could like record a 10, 15-minute segment, have that be its own little mini episode.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's fine with me.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So give me 1 second. I will throw it right to you because you're, I think, the biggest Alien fan among us. So I kind of want to hear what you have to say about it. And I kind of will let it slip a little bit before, but give me half a second. Let's be super impromptu, but I'll still do a little intro. Well, that's the wrong person.
Hi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Our Rating. We're actually going to discuss the Alien Earth franchise now that the final episode is out. We've already done every movie that is currently out in the Alien franchise on Our Rating. You can go check those out in the link down below. But we want to discuss the TV show now that it's out. I really wanted to hear what Brian has to say because he is the biggest Alien fan among us. And of course, I messed that whole thing up. But I'm here with Will and Brian, and I wanted to get Brian's opinion on it. So, Brian, as the resident Alien fan,
yes, forget Will. Forget Will. Let's talk about me. Let's me. I'll talk.
Let's preface by saying we're not going to be doing this for every franchise. This is just a one-off because Brian loves the Alien series.
And we needed something to talk about today. Yeah, so Alien Earth, I was super skeptical about this show. Everyone was saying, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I'm like, I've heard that before. And the premise was an alien ship crash lands, or a spaceship crash lands and has a bunch of different aliens. One of them happens to be a xenomorph. And I was like, sounds like a monster movie that happens to have an alien in it. And I was freaking out thinking this was going to be terrible. Lo and behold, the show comes out. It pays a subtle homage to a lot of its source material, in my opinion, the best source material. And it has its own life, its own feel. It is its own thing. And come to find out, having the other creatures alongside the xenomorph, it turned out to be really cool. I like the other creatures. And so I'm really enjoying the show.
Very nice. Now, out of curiosity, I kind of feel like the alien might be the least interesting portion of this show. Like, we've got the 5 corporations who are running the planet, essentially. Like, it sounds almost like the governments have fallen and it's the 5 corporations who run everything. You've got the boy genius. You've got the cyborg who's kind of trying to infiltrate them. You've got the 6 kids. You got the children, the synths, I think, or the whatever they're called. And then you got the other monsters. And it's kind of like, okay, well, I know what the alien does. Even as far as the monsters go, he's kind of the least interesting one. I think the eyeball is by far my favorite of those things. It kind of feels like for a show called Alien Earth, I don't care about the aliens or the Earth. Like that, both of those kind of fell apart to me. What do you think, Will? Does that ring true for you, or where'd you land on this?
Do we care about spoilers?
I do not.
Perfect. Them making the alien lapdog is Bologna. That's why the alien is subsidized sub character in this whole franchise or this whole series. It should be called extraterrestrial Earth because it's not alien Earth.
Well, they are all aliens.
I mean, the franchise is called Alien because of the
xenomorph.
Because of the xenomorph.
It's the only alien we've ever seen up until this point, really, right?
Yeah.
Aside from, I guess, Prometheus kind of introduced the other weird things. But I just feel like they took away the power of the xenomorph big time in this series, and I think it was a mistake. That said, I also agree the other aliens are pretty cool for the most part. There's some that are whatever, but the eyeball monster, I think online they're calling the eyeball monster Irene. It's definitely the coolest. But unfortunately, I don't have as high a praise as Brian. I felt like there was like, oh, so much buildup for Irene getting into a human host, and really we get to see what it's capable of. And they just tease us through the whole thing and don't actually give us any satisfaction whatsoever in this series at all for anything.
A lot of blue balls in this one, really. I mean, so much teasing. But I kind of felt like you guys are absolutely right. The Xenomorph has become a sub-character in this show. Toward the end of this first season, it kind of developed into less of a monster and more of a character because she's communicating with it. And so it's starting to get a little bit more personality and move from the monster that runs into the room with all the wigs and kills everybody, which was a great little short action sequence where you don't see much, but they do a lot with what you don't see. And later becomes something that you're starting to see has some sort of an emotion or a feel to it, or it's thinking. It's becoming its own entity. Whether that's good or bad, I have yet to see. This whole series, was it like 10 episodes?
8.
Is it 8? Only 8 episodes. Yeah, feels real short. We haven't got a lot. But yet they did some world building in here with the different corporations, the different synthetic android cyborgs. So there's still a lot going on and a lot to be had. And I think there's a lot of room for this show to continue. I hope it brings another season. I haven't checked on it, but I think it could go somewhere.
I believe there is another season coming. Sorry about that. Fiddling with my knobs.
I don't think the second season has been confirmed just yet.
I thought I did see something about it.
Unless it was like today, because as of like
the finale, I would hope if they do get a second season, I would hope they could increase the budget a little bit more, or try to do something a little bit better with some of the practical effects. I think it was like episode 5 or 6 where we saw a lot of a dude running around in a rubber alien suit. Didn't look great. And they had way too much light on it, way too much full camera shots when they should have been trying to hide that like they did in the first movie. And then they did some mixing with the CG and practical effects in some of the other episodes, a little bit more in that one. And I liked that. I thought they did a really good job most of the time. But there were a few times, and a lot of the fans online are screaming about it, that's a dude in a rubber suit and it looks stupid. And I got to admit, sometimes it did.
For the most part, I thought the show actually looked pretty solid. I mean, for being a television show, generally has smaller budgets than most movies do. I thought it looked pretty good all the way through. I'm not going to say, like, I'm sure if I went back and checked the episode you're looking at, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're right. But for the most part, I thought it looked actually pretty decent for what we got. Again, the littler aliens that were probably entirely CG, I thought looked really cool. The alien, the Irene, I guess, if we're calling it that, I really liked pretty much every scene that was in. It looked good. Is Alien okay? So they're the 5 corporations. We don't really talk about all the corporations, and I'm not the biggest Blade Runner fan, but I was getting massive Blade Runner vibes from this show. Did you guys also feel that? And are they trying to incorporate the two into the same? Like, are they trying to bring the Blade Runner universe into this with the synthetics and whatnot, or is that just the natural evolution when you start talking about AI and robots and such?
I'm not sure myself. I've heard rumors that the Blade Runner is in the same world or universe as the Alien universe, but I haven't actually gone in to do any research on that because I don't care that much until we hit Blade Runner franchise. I don't care. But I've heard that, so it doesn't surprise me that you got Blade Runner vibes. I think the way upgrades and things work in Blade Runner is different than what we see in this series a little bit. But again, there's a lot of differences in this compared to even the Alien franchise.
I was just about to say, even the Alien franchise, they seem to be playing it pretty fast and loose.
Yeah. And they're only a couple of years out from the chronological order of the first movie, right? So you're like, oh, they gotta get rid of these aliens on Earth so that they still need to pick them up somewhere else, right? Like, there's a lot that needs to happen.
That was
2 years before Alien.
There you go. Yeah.
Chronologically speaking. So yeah, they need to not only kill the alien before then, but like kill it in such a way that there is no body, no mass, no nothing for Weyland Yutani to dissect or get any information from. And the last thing we see is Weyland Yutani coming to the island. So they theoretically should be running into it. Whether they survive the encounter, who knows? But sorry, Brian, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the biggest issues I had with this show is that the alien is on Earth. How do they contain it? They couldn't contain it on a ship. Like, we have half a dozen movies where this thing continues to escape the grasp of humans and continues to go. How are they going to contain it? And in this one, they're like, we just transitioned one episode from the middle of the continent to an island, and they just took everything, and they're like, yeah, we had no trouble doing that. And I was like, really? You're going to give me a line of dialogue that you were just successfully contained the whole thing, and you moved it to an island where it can't escape? That bothered me a bit. It bothered me that they crash landed in the middle of the continent in the first place. I'm like, how do you keep this thing contained on a ship that just crash landed into a building? There's all this chaos going around, hundreds of people running in and out of the ship and the buildings that are collapsing around it. I was just like, how are you going to contain this stuff? And they basically just said that they did. And I didn't really like that part.
It was easy. They just sent in an unkillable, unstoppable synth 12-year-old mind with a paper cutter. That's all you need. Obviously.
Yeah, that was it. That's right.
So I think I almost go the opposite way. It almost feels like the reason that they're so hard to contain is because you are on a spaceship and you can't kill them because they will bleed everywhere and destroy the spaceship. When they're on a planet, a la Aliens, my apologies, they're killing them en masse.
Right.
Murdering them left, right, and center. How did they not kill this alien? Like, this thing takes multiple bullet wounds and takes no damage. And
yeah, it takes in the finale. It takes it gets beamed right in the head. It doesn't even phase it.
Unless they're using like rubber bullets, in which case you're dumb. Like, you need to contain this thing ASAP.
I mean,
the Marines always use the explosive tipped rounds to blow them up easy. So in Aliens, they splattered them, right? In other areas, when they use smaller calibers, we've seen the bullets just bounce off their carapace. It's supposed to be a pretty hard shell. So I don't know. I left that up to it wasn't a big enough round or whatever. I enjoyed it for what it was. There were other technical issues that superseded that to me, but yeah. All in all, I liked what they're doing with the show, and I'm excited for a season 2 to come out. I want to see more. I want it to continue. My favorite part about this show is that it was a lot of it, especially the first half of the season, was centered around the synths and cyborgs and the differences. Like, we have the cyborg and the full-on, who's the guy with the white hair? He's not a synth. He's an android, whatever.
Yeah, I think he is a synthetic.
Okay, he's a synthetic? All right, not a hybrid. Okay, there's a hybrid synth and cyborg. So we have a synth and a cyborg, and they hate each other. And I want to know why. I love this. There's something going on there. I wasn't told what. I want to know more. I think that is one of the most interesting points of Axis in this show. Then you have the hybrid kids, who I thought the adult actors did a pretty good job of acting like children in adult bodies. I found that very interesting. I want to see where that goes. And then how these different corporations are competing against each other. This world that they're starting to build on is very interesting to me, and I think there's a lot of room for it to grow, and I want to see where it goes.
I agree that they're building an interesting world. I think the alien was the least interesting part of it. And maybe that's because we've seen aliens in 7 different movies.
Right.
We kind of know what to expect from that, whereas everything else is new and exciting. It was just an interesting route for a take, but I don't disagree. I am curious to see where this goes. I mentioned last week, I don't really have any characters in this that I'm really invested in. Like, I kind of like some of the characters and I want to see what happens to them, but there's nobody that I'm like rooting for specifically.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I like a lot of the characters. Maybe I'm not invested in them, or like I hate them, but I have strong emotions towards them one way or another.
That's fair. I don't think there's a single character that if they died, I would be like, crap. It'd be like, all right.
That's okay, because none of them died anyway.
Well, exactly. None of the main ones. Spoilers. The 2 kids, whose names I'm definitely not going to get right, the ones who were carrying the dead body to the beach. I thought those 2 specifically did an amazing job of retaining their childhood.
Yes.
Whereas everybody else seemed to grow up really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Those 2 actors did a phenomenal job of being children in high stress situations.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were supposed to be younger kids than the other ones or how exactly that dynamic played out, or if just the actors had more fun with their roles. But I really enjoyed watching those two. They were maybe my favorites, but again, I'm not entirely sure I'd be sad if, you know, one of them didn't happen to make it.
They constantly just sat in that lie of theirs, and everyone around them could see through it because they're children, you know? It was so great. It was really good. You're right. They did a fantastic job.
Even the one guy just straight up calls him on. It's like, kids have to learn how to lie. You haven't learned yet. And I'm like, what? No, we're telling you what you want to hear. One last point I get, if you guys have nothing else to say before we move on. Was it just me, or were the mic drops, the song drops, whatever you want to call it, the needle drops at the end of every episode really out of left field for every episode? Like you knew exactly when the episode was ending. So you're just like, oh, Metallica? Oh,
yeah,
that's weird.
I liked them, but they were so out of place from the whole rest of the show.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was just such a stark contrast from everything else you just watched for 45 minutes. And it was like, all right, that's a choice.
Yeah.
But
I wish they could incorporate.
I was saying for most of this. Don't get me wrong. There was parts I really enjoyed. I liked the theology or the thoughts about, you know, making people immortal and transferring the minds into, because that's
how about when
for forever.
How about when they're asking, do you believe that's your sister, or is that a machine with a copy of her brain in it? You know? And that was throughout the entire show, and different people clearly felt differently about it, and some of them even changed their position throughout the show. I thought that was really cool, that idea of what is a soul, what is life, you know?
What is a person?
Yeah.
What makes a person, and at what point do they just become a machine? Those are all interesting queries. Do they delve deep enough into it for me to care? No. Especially when they do it with 12-year-old minds and they become super beings that cannot be stopped, Neo-level, unstoppable hacking forces, super speed, super strength, but they're kids. And that's like the loophole so that they can get away with terrible story choices throughout the program. And I just hate that they leaned on that so hard. And it made, almost like Dan said, there's no likable characters in this show. There's nobody I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for this guy. The closest one is the cyborg, Morrow, because he's like, you know, I gave up my whole life to do this. They, you know, Yutani, I owe Yutani. He feels like he owes them because they saved him and gave him a purpose. And so he's just like the one person that you know what they want, what they're going to do, and how they're going to do it. And even he gets kind of...
He kind of gets boned.
It's just like, what? He's like, whatever. So I don't know. There's a lot of issues with the writing in this that really took me out of it.
I think I thought Morrow was cool more than I actually liked him. You know,
that's
he was a cool
fair.
design, but
I think that's the way it is for a lot of the characters in this. The synthetic with the white hair, I can't remember his name. One of my favorite characters. Yeah, one of my favorite characters, because he is so nonchalant about everything, and it just cracks me up. It seems a very unrealistic take on his character, but I liked it. Same with Morrow. He was cool and interesting, and I liked seeing what he did and how he worked. That was cool. I even liked Wendy. Wendy seems to be advancing very quickly, or whatever her real name is.
Yeah.
She seems to be advancing really quickly, and I do like to see her progression. What I thought was weird is she's super fast and super strong, and all the other kids just like haven't figured out that they have super strength. Like the two boys are trying to drag that body to the beach, and they're struggling so hard. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure either one of you could just flop him over your shoulder and carry him.
Yeah, just toss him across the beach.
Yeah.
The problem with this show is they set up all of these things, and then they never revisit, or they assume that we forget as an audience. Like, they have tablets to just shut off these stupid hybrids at any time, but they never use it until because it's not convenient for the plot.
Until the very end, when they go around it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they all know Wendy can hack into anything with a TV, and they just let her around this technology constantly
Right.
when they try to lock them up and secure them because they're an actual threat. It makes zero sense. Like the
Well,
plot holes in this.
And
is
the
just
boy wonder
ludicrous.
why he is so delusional as to put his investment into danger. You know, he's got something that's going to blow the competition away, and he wants to just trash it all because there's something shiny on the ship. Like, it doesn't. And they talk about that in the show, but they never give you a good enough reason other than he's just not as smart as he thinks he is, I guess.
Oh, and he's got ADHD.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is
Extreme.
impulse control issues. So that's
Good.
Yeah.
Good job, team.
good enough, I guess.
Yeah, it just bothered me because I do feel like there was a lot of fun potential with this, and the direction they took it, even sidelining the alien, specifically the xenomorph, I was okay with until it became a literal lapdog.
Yeah.
But they half-assed all of their decisions and all of their plot lines to the point where what happened in this season? What actually happened?
The creatures got from outer space to the island. That's it. Yeah, that's
you
it.
You could have started this season with the finale.
Yeah.
There's a lot of world building that goes on, so I will give them some credit there. But from story perspective, you're not entirely wrong. I guess it kind of depends on what happens with the next season, because like the episode ended, the final episode ended, and I was kind of shocked that it was over. Like, it didn't feel like we got any resolution.
It's not a finale. It's not a finale.
It didn't feel like a finale. And honestly, I felt like we could have used 3 more episodes.
Right. But that was kind of my point, is like the alien could have very easily gone in and ripped all those people to shreds, in which case, I guess the only thing we're caring about is the 5 hybrids. But it's left in this, like, okay, there's a mother alien and a baby alien, and all the people are still alive, and all the hybrids are still alive, and like Will said, look, we could have started here. Not quite here, but we could have started an episode back. We didn't have to have 6 or 7 episodes or 8.
We did lose one hybrid. Or one of the kids. We lost one of the kids.
We lost one of the kids, and we lost the guy who can't reproduce.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But he's back. He's back because he's got an eyeball friend now.
I guess the thing that I like the most about this show is that it could have been way worse. It really could have been way worse, is what I like the most about it. It's good enough.
In the world. That's where we're at in the world.
It's good enough that I could keep watching it and not hate it like I did Alien whatever, the Alien 4. You know? Yeah. It's not Alien 4. I'm glad.
It is definitely not the worst alien thing we've seen on the show. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, Will's okay. All right. We're not going to do a whole episode on this. We can probably wrap this up pretty soon. If you had to give it 2 thumbs, where would your thumbs lean, Brian?
My instinct says 2 thumbs up.
Okay. See, I was probably going to go 1 thumb up. What about you, Will? Any thumbs at all?
I'm hoping they don't get a season 2. I hope this is it. It's over.
Oh, wow. Okay. I would like a season 2, and then this is just like this is a decent prequel that builds to the point where I like it better in retrospect.
I want this to be the pilot run of the real show.
That's the problem, though. Like, Hollywood is, or whatever, TV producers are like, set it up so that we want a second season, instead of tell us a good story so that we can continue that story. And that is wrong. That is wrong. That is just wrong. And my biggest hate on is that the creator of this is the same creator as the TV series Fargo, season 1 and 2, and those are incredible. If you've not seen those are incredible. And I don't know what the hell happened. If this guy is just phoning it in or what, his storytelling has gone out the window. He doesn't give a rat's ass about anything. Like, something is majorly wrong here. I don't know why. And that's what bothers me the most.
Brian mentioned something almost like a throwaway line a second ago, saying it's almost like a pilot season. And that raises an interesting question, because they don't have TV the way they used to, where you would get a pilot episode where you can kind of see how things are. And usually they change things pretty drastically from the pilot episode to the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Now they don't really do that, because they do just kind of go, okay, we greenlit a season, put it on Netflix, put it on Disney Plus, put it on Hulu, wherever you're going to watch it. Could they essentially pilot this, change it, not like horrendously drastically, but change it enough that you could get interested? Or you think it's just you gave it as much time as you were going
Yeah,
to. And
sure. Anything's possible. Like, say
I realized
the
halfway
next,
through that was a little too open.
yeah, for sure. Like, say the next season comes out, and everybody who hated the first season's like, you know what? This is the alien Earth we need. This is what we wanted from the start. Maybe I'll burn the other one out of my mind and start fresh, because obviously all you need is a 30-minute recap from what happened in this to catch yourself up. They crashed on Earth, they brought him to an island, and they're super robots that can't be stopped. That's it. That's all you need.
Honestly, you could take the aliens out of this show and it'd be the exact same show.
I hate that she controls this alien too.
Yeah, that bothered me in the last episode. She's whistling it around. That really demeaned the whole thing. I didn't like that at all.
I didn't mind that she could talk to it.
Agreed.
But once it became a pet,
that was dumb.
100% is. I lost interest.
I want season 2 to show that it's been manipulating her the whole time. Like, it's just playing along, and then it decides, no. I know you're just a mechanized human. I was using you to get out of my cage. Whatever. You know, because I hate that she's telling it what to do. That just ruins everything for me. Honestly, I wasn't too excited about them creating a language for the aliens. We've always wondered how they communicate, and now it's just this sound we can't hear, except they change the pitch so us, the viewer, can hear, and it kind of gets annoying after a while. I wasn't too keen on that.
Close-ups on the mouth, like.
Oh yeah, it was kind of weird.
And she can hear it from like the alien can hear her from like miles away.
Yeah.
Through concrete and everything. Yeah. Like, what is happening?
Well, at one point she talks to the television screen, and the alien's on the beach or something, and is like,
yeah, I think she's using Bluetooth, or she's bouncing it off. She's unstoppable.
I was kind of hoping at the end where you see the alien reunited with the younger alien on the cage, and she's like whistling at it, and I kind of get the impression she's like, jump in this room and kill them. If the alien had turned on her then and maybe taken bits out or bibs or whatever it was, and it'd be like, oh, and now we're in an interesting location, that would have been a much cooler ending to the show than the nothing that we
almost anything would have been a better ending than what we got.
Yeah, it turns out that Irene is the most interesting alien on that ship. Everybody wants to see where that goes. We all wanted to see it get into a human and talk to it, of course, and that didn't happen. And so I think that's one of those juicy morsels that they're going to hold so that we want a season 2 to see where that goes.
Yeah. All right. We good?
Yeah.
We're great.
All right. All right, thank you all so much. That was just a short little take on Alien Earth. Now that that's over with, I just wanted to give a little brief synopsis of it. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Now we're going to go on to I don't know what I'm doing. I'll do the outro later.
I love the attempts that don't work. Those are the best.
All right. Sorry, I kind of just threw that on you guys. We discussed it a little bit beforehand, but
no worries. Sorry, I hated on it so hard, Brian.
Oh
no, that's okay, Will. You're allowed to hate stuff that I love. It's fine.
It just frustrated me so much. Just so many things. I couldn't put it past, unfortunately.
So this week for real, we're talking about a fish called Wanda as part of our Patreon picks the last Thursday of the month.
And Dan, we need to share chat. I'm live and I forgot to.
I didn't even know you were live.
Yeah, here, hold on. I'll
knock at my door.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock.
I was wondering, the chat got awfully quiet. I thought they sometimes just do that when we're talking because they know.
Right? Yeah. There you go. I sent the invite and I'm sharing chat, and I'm gonna mute everything here.
Wonderful D hasn't finished yet. Sorry, Wonderful D. Yeah, I spoiled everything. So
he left.
Got out. Yeah, hopefully he got out in time.
All right, I'm gonna mute that and mute that. Notify my followers that we're hanging out together.
We're hanging out together.
I think
there we go.
Start showing up naturally.
Got ourselves a shared chat. And now that we're sharing chat and I can talk to Mongooli's chat and everybody else, fuck you, chat, leading me to believe that this was the Tom Hanks and Cher movie called Splash. I thought I was.
What?
I thought I was confused. I thought that Tom Hanks and Cher in the movie Splash, I thought that was a fish called Wanda. Imagine my surprise when we get into this film. And I was like, wait a minute. When's Tom Hanks going to get here?
So that's
There's no mermaid.
I was telling Will before we went live, when he said a fish called Wanda, my brain heard birdcage. So I was expecting like Robin Williams, and it's Kevin Kline in that one too, is it not? Is he not also in Birdcage?
No, I don't remember Kevin Kline being in Bird.
I don't think so.
Okay. So I'm still confused on the two movies apparently.
Yeah. Nathan Lane is in Birdcage. Gene Hackman is in Birdcage. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you anything about Birdcage either. That was just the movie that I thought of. I'm almost positive I've seen it, but like so long ago.
That's so funny.
You're not surprised, let's be honest.
Is it because Kevin Kline and Robin Williams both have mustaches in the movie?
I mean, admittedly, if I took a glance at this photo that I'm looking at, which I realize none of you can see, that does look like Kevin Kline, the Robin Williams.
A young Robin Williams? Yeah. Okay. Super funny. Super funny. I like it.
You're all adorable. What's up, Jeremy? Birdcage is better. We'll see.
Birdcage is better. That's an interesting statement.
All right. You get Canva open. Where is the Patreon picks? There we go. All right.
Who do we have as head writers in the Patreon thing right now? Is it still just Elder?
It is currently just Elder.
Okay.
And
so this was Elder's pick?
Correct.
Okay.
There have
vastly
been people
different from our last pick.
There have been people flirting with the idea of joining. But nothing as of yet.
And Elder, I'm sad to hear that you're not going to be joining us live anymore. I'm curious about Dan said you had a time change. You're changing time zones, so I assume that's a move. Either that or you're a time traveler.
Say whatever he said. I'll allow him to say it, but yes, he's going to be moving to a different time zone, and unfortunately the time zone he will be living in does not line up properly with this show anymore.
Well, that sucks. I like having you here, buddy. But I hope you still catch the recordings.
Yeah, YouTube's live 24/7. So, oh, whoops. Come on. Sorry, it has been a week. I'm just getting caught up on something behind the scenes. But I'll be ready to go in about 2 seconds.
Okay.
Are you guys good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah, probably.
Do you have an opener ready for us, Will?
I guess.
So happy to hear it. Okay. Why is there a border here? What the hell is going on?
I don't know. You tell me. What's going on?
Oh, really, Elder? Wow, that's cool. When I did mornings, I used to have quite the fan base from the UK. There was like 30% of my viewers were from the UK when I first was streaming because I did mornings and it just lined up.
Speaking of absolutely nothing, I saw 3088 Gaming just recently put out an exclusive Marvel Strike Force video. And I was like, I haven't seen him stream in forever. I didn't know he's still playing Marvel Strike Force. Like, that video came out of absolute left field for me. I was like, I haven't seen him on Twitch or anything in a long time. Used to love watching that guy, but
yeah, he was playing, like Bendy and him were bouncing back and forth, or him and Bubba were bouncing back and forth to get partner and stuff with the drops. So he was live then, but then once he got partner, he seemed to dip, or maybe he's streaming at a different time. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've never seen his YouTube stuff, so I don't know that. Maybe he's holding that up. I don't know.
Caught him the other day, but he has slowed down a bit. Fair enough.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Faust.
Out of curiosity, I am moving to the land of Crofty. What the hell is Crofty?
Crofty's he was an alliance mate when I first started, and
okay.
Crofty would be on my stream all the time, helping me play Marvel Strike Force and mod in my Discord back when I had a Discord and several other things. Me and Crofty were pretty close.
You still have a Discord?
I don't have a Discord.
You-
I have the Discord that I hang out in. I have
Hey.
yes, I have the coalition.
Love it. All right.
Noise.
Okay. Are you good to go, Will?
I mean, as good as it's gonna get.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, I remembered this time.
Attaboy. A Fish Called Wanda, 1988. When you put together a team with brains, brawn, and beauty, pulling off a diamond heist is the easy part. Trusting everyone to take an equal cut, now there's the rub. Chaos ensues as the thieves quickly turn on each other, willing to say and do anything in their power to take the whole pie. Assholes! Is that okay for YouTube?
We'll see. I think as long as you don't drop F-bombs in the first 7 seconds, it's pretty much okay.
Perfect.
I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Apparently not. No, I'm not. There we go. Thank you so much for the follow, and Windstorm, thank you so much for the subscribe. Appreciate both of you immensely. Apologies, Dank, if you're just getting here for the first time. We do record a show, so we won't be interacting with the audience as much, but we do read all the comments, so by all means, put them in there. We just won't respond right away. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our rating for the Patreon pick. Now, this is the second time ever that we've done the Patreon pick where we take one friend. Yeah, probably should actually do it properly. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our rating. Now, this is the last Thursday of the month, so we're doing our Patreon pick where the head writers and above get to choose a movie or a movie that we get to do. Doesn't have to be part of a franchise, can be anything they want. And this week, they've decided to do A Fish Called Wanda, the 1988 classic. Is it right to call it a classic, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's got a reputation as
All
a
right.
classic.
Fair enough. I'm joined this week, as always, by Brian and Will. Brian, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Excellent. How about you, Will?
I'm even better.
Love to hear it. Now, Will, you were saying sort of before we went online, this is not your first time seeing one. Is this one? Is this correct?
That is correct. The missus really enjoys this movie, so it gets played. We own it on DVD. It gets seen once in a while.
Very nice. I have to say, this is apparently my first time seeing it. When they first announced it, I, for some reason, heard A Fish Called Wanda and thought of Birdcage. So this was a surprise to me when I put this one on. Had never seen it before. Kind of surprising because I'm a big John Cleese fan, and I actually enjoy a lot of the cast members in this one. But just kind of missed my radar. What about you, Brian? Had you ever seen this one before?
First time, and I also was a little confused when we talked about A Fish Called Wanda. I asked, is that the Tom Hanks one with the mermaid? And chat said, yeah, Ron, that's the one. And I went away thinking I was going to add to my collection of Tom Hanks films, and instead I got this one.
So you didn't actually watch any of Splash, just assuming you had it right. You did watch the movie from the
I've
beginning.
never seen Splash, and I had never seen A Fish Called Wanda.
Okay, fair enough. So we don't have sorry. So this was picked by Elder JM990, who unfortunately is not able to join us this week. He did join us the last time we did a Patreon pick for a short little intermission, telling us why he liked this movie or why he picked this movie. We don't have that from him this time, or at least not at this time. I think it's pretty safe to say, though, like as you mentioned, this is well-deserved classic. Even on a first-time viewing, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Will, you said you've seen this quite a bit because your wife enjoys this. Do you? I apologize if you said it and I missed it. Do you also enjoy this one, or is it your wife's and you just kind of watch it with her dutifully?
Well, that's kind of giving away the whole spiel here, but I enjoy British comedy. I enjoy black comedy. I enjoy Monty Python. So I think it would be safe to say that I probably enjoyed this movie, but we'll find out at the end.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, then I guess I shouldn't ask Brian if he enjoyed this one, then, should I?
Yeah, I don't think you should ask me that.
Yeah, I was wondering. All right, sounds like my predictions while watching this are accurate.
I'm actually most curious about you, Dan, because you are the wild card. Because I know you like Monty Python, but we don't always connect on humor in the same way. Speaking personally, you and I. So
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, is he gonna like this or not? So I'm interested to hear your take throughout this conversation.
So it's worth mentioning, I've said this before multiple times. Not only is comedy extremely subjective from person to person, I also feel a lot of comedy has an expiration date. So this being a movie that is almost as old as we are could be a really, really tough sell. I walked into this one literally blind, not knowing anything about it that you can't see on the front cover. So, like the actors that are in it.
Mhm.
Um, I got maybe 45 minutes into this one and was just like, this is just not for me. It's just not really doing it for me at all. And I couldn't tell you the exact scene where that changed. But at one point, I just found myself just warming up to the characters more, liking the humor more, getting into it, and chuckling. I will say, I don't think I ever like full on belly laughed at this movie. That's a
Right.
lie. I didn't full on belly laugh at this movie until one specific scene that just absolutely got me. And then I was just kind of enamored with the movie after that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I
What was
loved
the
it.
scene?
Not one that I'm going to go back to over and over again. Um, the scene that just got me, and my wife even like stopped to look at me while I was watching this, is there's a returning gag in this show where
With dogs.
Michael Palin is trying to kill a little old woman and instead just keeps taking out her dogs. And on the third attempt, he has a super elaborate scene out of Wile E. Coyote set up where he's got like a cinder block up high. He has to snipe the cinder block, land on the old woman. And of course, she turns around and it lands on the dog. That wasn't all that funny to me. But the fact that the old woman doesn't see it right away and we're just kind of left with this cinder block. And when I say cinder block, I mean like 4 feet by 4 feet. Like this thing is massive.
It's huge. Yeah.
Where the dog used to be, and she's just walking away, and like her leash
The
is just getting
leash.
longer and longer and longer as she's walking away, and then shorter and shorter she comes back, and she's walking around the cinder block trying to like, where is my little doggy? Surely this didn't happen 3 times in a row. I don't know what it was. Something about that scene just absolutely tickled me inside, and I just could not contain myself. Not like I was like on the floor belly laughing,
No,
but just
it,
that like
it gotcha.
uncontrollable little like I can't believe it did it. But that got me, and then I was just kind of happy for the rest of the movie, I guess. I wouldn't say that I loved it. And again, this is a slow burn for me. It took me a while to get into this movie. But once I kind of latched onto the characters, once the running jokes or the returning gags kind of set in, like the fact that every time he takes off, he causes an accident and yells asshole at the other person as if it's somehow their fault.
Mhm.
It did start working for me a lot more, and I did start really enjoying this. Also, all 4 of the main actors absolutely on fire in this movie. Like all of them are just really pulling their weight and showing their not only comedic chops but just their ability to act. Their charisma, just showing their charisma on screen and why we should love these characters, why we do love these actors. I fell in love with this movie. I will say, even as I'm saying it now, I'm kind of curious to watch it again at some point, not right away, but like down the road, and see if the charm grabs me earlier now that I know how it comes about. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Sorry, that was a very long-winded spiel about my overall thoughts on the movie, but that's kind of where I'm at.
What about you, Will?
Yeah. I mean, again, I stated like I'm a fan of British humor. It's a little dry. I like farce. This is obviously a farce. You know, the double cross, triple cross, crisscross, applesauce throughout the movie. And you know, the physical shticks, like Dan mentioned, he liked the third dog do in. I love the first one where this rabid dog just scoops this dog up and just takes off. It's like such an obvious fake dog in its mouth, but it's just so funny that the plan goes so sideways. And it's just like doubled down by the fact that the character loves animals so much and he's just murdering these dogs over and over again. It's just taking it out on himself. I just thought I thought it was funny. Again, there's like I laughed out loud multiple times in this movie. Maybe it's just the humor I like. Can I see for first time? And that was my biggest wonder is Dan and Brian's first time viewing this movie. It is from the 80s. Does it hold up? That was a big question in my mind. So I was interested in hearing what you guys thought of the humor, because as Dan said, some humor just does not stand the test of time. Whereas I feel like physical bits like those will always be funny, because I don't know, for some reason, physical bits of comedy kind of, I feel, can stand up over time.
Well, there was another scene where John Cleese is getting naked, getting prepared to have, a fun evening. And an entire family walks in and is just kind of like looking at him as he's fully undressed. And like John Cleese is a master, so it's fun to watch because of him. But you've seen that scene so many times in so many different iterations. It was just kind of like, okay, like we've done this so much, and like who knows, maybe this did it first in 1988. I sincerely doubt it, but it's possible.
No, yeah, it wouldn't have been as played. But the funniest part of that scene to me is when he grabs the picture and it's the woman's face, and then she gives the look of like, oh, like that's me. You're covering yourself with me. That was the funniest part to me, and that to me was like so funny. Again, that part of it is so funny. Just that little look of, they didn't have to add that in. That is that is a thought out, executed joke of, we'll take her framed photo to place behind his privates and then have her look and react to that. It's so funny that they thought through all these little jokes. And Dan, you mentioned that you're somewhat interested in watching again. I think you will pick up kind of more layers of the comedic elements if you do reviewings of this movie.
Again, it's not what I'm going to rewatch tomorrow. Well, actually, you know what? I actually will have to rewatch this fairly soon, because I'm going to have to do the edit where I watch most of the movie. So maybe I will see a significant portion of it at least.
Okay, Brian, hit us. We know you hated this movie. Hit us with it.
Yeah, I didn't even crack a smile this entire film. I watched it in portions like I normally do, and every time I had to turn it on, I didn't turn it off because I was out of time. I turned it off because I couldn't stand watching this any longer. And so I viewed this 15 minutes at a time. I did start to, I guess, warm up to it toward the end, but not enough to enjoy it. I'll say this. I love John Cleese in almost everything he does. I am a big fan of Monty Python, and I expected, like, when I saw his face, of course, going into this thinking I was going to get one thing and then I got this, I saw his face and I was like, oh, this is going to be fine. We're good. We're good here. Plus, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love her in Halloween. I love her in True Lies. I think she's great. And then, of course, we've got Kevin Kline, another person who I've enjoyed a lot of his comedies. And Michael Palin isn't somebody I have seen a lot of, but I don't have any problems with him. The problem I had, I think, starting out, is that I hated all of the characters, especially Otto. He was just unbelievably stupid. Like, literally, I did not believe him. And I felt his performance, like, every time I watched him, at least through the first half. After the first half, I started to warm up a bit. But in the first half, I felt like he was delivering lines. That's what it felt. It just took me out of it. I just constantly felt like he was delivering lines and not working with the people on screen. It bothered me. I didn't take to it. His character was just so incredibly dumb and naive. All the men in this were so incredibly dumb and naive and constantly being led around by their pants. I'm not a big fan of infidelity and adultery, so that theme didn't land well with me. Honestly, I actually, at first, I didn't like Wendy, Archie's wife, but later I felt bad for her because he finally got through to her, accidentally giving her a necklace, and she was all about him all of a sudden, and he's still trying to run around behind her back. I don't know. I really tried to get into this. I'm a fan of older comedies, so this style of humor, should have struck a chord with me, and it just didn't. The dog's dying, I was like, this should be funnier, but for some reason, I'm not laughing. And frankly, I just wanted it to be over. I didn't like the story. I didn't care where it went. I didn't care for any of these characters. And I just didn't have any fun with this film at all. And I was kind of sad too because I've heard so much. Everyone's heard A Fish Called Wanda. Everyone has heard of that. This just
for you and Dan, who thought it was completely different movies.
Well, I heard the title. I just thought I knew what I was.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
It's a mermaid.
I'm sorry, guys. From a technical aspect, I can appreciate a lot that this movie brings. But from a fun and enjoyment standpoint, this was like bottom of the barrel for me. This is one of the worst movies I've had to watch on our rating for me. I really just did not enjoy this.
Are you including the Home Alones right now?
Okay.
Story 2.
Okay, it beats Home Alone and Neverending Story 2. It beats some of the Highlanders.
Okay.
Some of them, not all of them.
Now, out of curiosity, you mentioned that you like John Cleese. We did like a year ago, so I apologize if I get this wrong. We both did like our top 20 movies in separate episodes with each other, and I mentioned Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail. If I remember correctly, you did not like that movie, though, right? Did you not?
No, I like the Holy Grail. I just like the Life of Brian better.
Oh,
that was it.
So I apologize.
Yeah. No,
I
love all the Monty Pythons. I think they're fantastic. That's genius comedy right there. That's groundbreaking, breathtaking comedy that I love. And that's what turned me on to John Cleese in the very first place. I've loved everything he's been in ever since. I don't love this movie. I think his job acting in this movie was the best of all four of everybody in the film. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis did a good job acting, but I did not like her character or how she manipulated the men who were just so blatantly just oblivious to what was going on. Like, I could not believe that Otto was her brother. I could not, would not, will not ever believe that lie. And I'm like, how could anybody in this story ever think that they are brother and sister? This just didn't jive with me.
I don't think. Okay, now this is gonna be funny because we were just talking about another project before this where I was like, I don't like any of these characters. So I get where you're coming from. I 100% do. I don't think you're supposed to like any of these characters. I think these are supposed to be deplorable characters who you kind of find it funny how dumb they are, how manipulative they are.
Manipulative?
No, manipulatable.
Oh.
Like they can be manipulated. I think that's kind of the point or where the enjoyment for this comes from, because you don't like him. Even like Michael Palin's Ken is probably theoretically the nicest person amongst the four of them.
Right.
He's going around murdering dogs left, right,
and they gave him that
not on purpose. Not on purpose.
no,
right. They gave him the stutter.
Kill a woman.
They gave him the stutter that made it so painful to watch him. Like, the stutter was so over the top. And then Ken making fun of it, the jokes weren't that funny. I kind of felt like, I was like, or Otto making fun of Ken. I was just like, man, Otto's just that much bigger a dick. Like, and his jokes at Ken's expense weren't that fun. Well, nothing. Like I said, I didn't even smile during this entire film. Yeah. I came really close when Ken killed the third dog and the old lady just like died, and he walked over and he starts cracking up like, I killed her, and he's all laughing. I came really close to feeling something during that scene, and that was about it.
Like something.
Almost felt something.
Yeah, almost. And then it ruined it with that stupid road paver scene that went so slow.
That was painful.
And I was like,
so funny.
And I was like, okay, Austin Powers did this scene so much better than this. You know, I mean, they probably took a note from A Fish Called Wanda, but yeah, it's just everywhere I turned, it just didn't land for me. And obviously, popular film. You guys had a good time with it. I'm just not the right audience, I guess.
Now, I know that we've discussed this before. We've not discussed it in length. We don't have to get into it now, but I know that you've mentioned before that infidelity is kind of a trigger for you. The scene that where I think I started turning around on this movie, ironically, is the scene in John Cleese's house where they're starting to get intimate and the brother's around. And all of a sudden his wife and his kid come home and they're all trying to hide. And the brother's like, I'm part of the CIA. And jumps, like, it was so incredibly stupid. But the look on John Cleese's face for the entire thing, because he didn't even
founded
like with
he'd never met Otto at that point. He's like, who is this guy? And I can't say anything because he's saving my ass right now.
Right. the bro code in full effect at the same time, just like, why is there a stranger in my house?
Right?
But they're trying to help me get out of this, so I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, the look
Yeah.
on his face was absolutely priceless. John Cleese is an absolute master.
It's funny
Um,
too because John Cleese is, of everybody, the straight man in this movie, and that's not his typical shtick. If you're watching Monty Python and things like that, so I thought that was an interesting take that he ended up putting himself, because he wrote it and
Yeah.
co-directed it, but he put himself into that straight man role, if there is a straight man in this movie, obviously.
Well, and the fact that he did write this one and then put himself in the role that, gets to make out with Jamie Lee Curtis and like kiss her chest and whatnot, like all I could think of was how
Tarantino.
put himself in the role in Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, sometimes it's good to be a writer.
Yeah. I actually,
oh, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, you mentioned he's the straight character in this film. That's probably why I liked his character. Why I didn't hate his character the least. Like it was. I don't want to say I liked his character, but I didn't. Yeah. It's probably because he was the most serious, and everybody else was just so incredibly outlandishly dumb and silly, and I was like, it was unbelievable for me. Almost to the point where I was like, is this supposed to be like Naked Gun slapstick kind of comedy? Like, is it so far out there? Am I missing something here? Because everything was so unbelievable for me.
Yeah, it definitely felt very cartoonish. Again, even the scene that I was originally describing with like, essentially a piano hanging out of a rooftop waiting to fall on somebody. It's like straight out of Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was kind of, at some point, my brain realized what I was watching. And that's when I kind of got on board, which is, again, why I kind of think I do want to watch this again at some point. And kind of like, okay, now I know what I'm getting in for at the jump. And see if that changes my opinion of the first 45 minutes. Or if it does just take a while to build to get to the zaniness where the movie does kind of shine a little bit more.
I think it does shine more in the second half. It does take time to kind of build that up until it's just like completely off the rails. But yeah, I mean, the characters are bold right from the jump, and they're characters of, stereotype characters. Yeah. It's a farce, right? That's the whole thing. Like the buy-in, you have to just kind of go with the buy-in, being like, okay, this is silly foolishness. Let's see who ends up with the cash, right? If anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess like if you don't get on board, I can see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, halfway through, I was like, I don't care who gets the diamonds. I hope the diamonds get flushed down a toilet or something. Like, I don't want anybody to get them. I want all these people to go to jail or whatever. I
was a little surprised nobody got punished. I mean, I guess like because
George stayed in jail.
Survives at the end.
George went to jail.
Yeah,
right?
But I mean, okay, fair. But George isn't somebody we care about.
Yeah, George is in the.
I guess none of them are somebody Run cares about.
And the end was actually changed slightly. Otto's character was supposedly dead, but it didn't test well with the test audiences because everybody liked the character. So they had him come back at that in the airplane scene to just do his little bit there at the window.
Yeah.
So that nobody actually
which was weird because his feet like cemented into that concrete in seconds, and then the rest of him he was able to just slop his way out of there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, somebody helped him out, I guess.
Also, the window on the plane is like 30 feet up or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. He found a way. It's also funny that you guys mentioned you didn't like the steamroller scene. There was 2 movies that year that came out with a character a bad guy getting killed by a steamroller. Or not killed, but run over.
Who killed Roger
Rabbit?
Who
killed Roger Rabbit?
Who framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, I also had that. And what's more funny is that the director, what's his name? Crichton?
Of this one?
Of this movie, yeah. So John Cleese always wanted to work with Crichton because he really liked him as a director and kind of idolized him a little bit. And so he really wanted him to direct this movie, but the producer were like, he's super old. He hasn't directed in a while. We don't think he can do it. So John Cleese is like, no, I'll go in as co-director so that I can have him. And then he ended up just directing the whole thing.
Gotcha.
But the whole idea of the script was John Cleese he thought it would be funny to have a character who stutters, and Crichton, his only prereq was he wanted somebody to get run over by a steamroller. And that's where this movie started. So from that to this, I mean, it was pretty good.
I will agree with Brian. A lot of the stuttering and especially Otto's treatment of Ken really didn't work for me. However, the lack of stuttering in like the 2 scenes where that came about, that did kind of, I don't even say make me chuckle, but just kind of like, oh, okay. Like right after Jamie Lee Curtis kisses him, and all of a sudden he can speak in full sentences while he's just so stunned. And then like he can't say the name of the hotel, but the second the other guy says it, he says it perfectly. He's like, like he's kind of like surprised with himself. I was like, that wasn't really worth the amount of time it took to get there, but it was kind of a cute little moment.
Yeah, so Michael Palin's put a lot into his research because his father actually had a stutter, and actually almost worse than what was portrayed on the film.
Oh, wow.
But what he noticed is that around people he trusted, he stuttered less. So throughout the movie, his character was like that as well. If he trusted the person, he stuttered less. That's why when he's around animals talking to his fish, there's like no stutter at all. But when he's getting yelled at, what's the name of the hotel? You know, with John Cleese's character, he can't get it out at all, and it's very very difficult for him to talk. And he got some like lots of praise for the stuttering within this movie, and a lot of like critique. But he ended up after this movie starting up like one of the biggest organizations to help stuttering children, and it's still running to this day. So that's pretty cool that he invested time and money into that afterwards. So a lot of good came out of it as well. But I can see that there are scenes when you're like, okay, like, get it out. Like you feel like the other characters like, get it out, Ken. Come on, buddy. We gotta move this movie along here.
I had to go YouTube search the scene from The King's Speech just so I could like cleanse myself of the stutter.
The King's Speech is a very good movie as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Very good movie.
Yeah, there was the scene with John Cleese where I was like the second it started happening, I was like, just get a pen. Just get a pen.
Oh, yeah. I was like, just have him write it.
And they finally got there, but it was just like, okay, cool. I had something else and now I've lost it.
Oh, man, I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm thirsty. Yeah, he's going to cut this out anyway. I'm tossing him back.
Leave all this dead air on the cutting room floor.
That's so funny. It's so funny that Elder I saw Elder mentioned in chat. Elder chose this movie for us. And somebody asked why he chose this movie. And he said he loved this movie and his wife introduced it to him. And my wife actually really loves this movie. So I think that's kind of a fun parallel.
And as it turns out, he introduced it to us and I introduced it to my wife. So
there you go.
There we go.
I'm not going to make my wife watch this.
Never show this to Raw.
She ain't got the time for this anyway. Although she'd probably enjoy it more than I did, but
fair.
From a technical standpoint, what did you guys think about this concerning music and sound effects, and of course the cinematography of the film? For me, the cinematography was pretty basic, like well done, nothing wrong with it. I kind of enjoyed some of the shots, some of the simple shots where like they pull up in a car and they're perfectly framed in the shot when the car comes to a stop. I was like, people don't understand how hard it is to make that shot work. Like you basically have to have the cameras lined up at the stopping point and then back up and have it happen. So simple little things like that done well cinemagraphically. And the sound on it was, I didn't notice anything. So I guess that was okay. It didn't take me out or really build up anything up for me.
I was thinking the same thing actually with the sound. I was trying to think about that on my drive to work today. I couldn't remember a single noise in this movie. Like there was no like specific sound effect that I thought was funny. There was no song or needle drop or whatever you want to call it that was like, oh, that was really well timed or that was really ill placed. Absolutely nothing, which is sometimes not a curse. Like if it's so seamless in the movie, it's kind of like, okay, that could actually be a good thing. We talked, I think last week, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, where there was a sound drop that was so bad it took me out of the movie. So this one not doing that, I guess, is a good thing, but also like
no risk, no reward either.
Yeah, exactly. Like it is like competent, I guess, but that's kind of the most you can say about both the cinematography and the sound design. But again, it's a comedy, so like that's not really what I'm here for. If they can do it on top of the comedy, amazing.
Mhm.
But I'm here to laugh, and I did. So from a technical standpoint, it's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't like there were any montages where they could just have some music playing to add to the soundtrack. You know, sometimes you'll have a movie that's a comedy, and there'll just be some sequences where some amazing stuff is happening, and they've got some rock music playing, and it's getting you pumped up or something. And that's fine. This just didn't have any of those sequences in it, and so it didn't have any soundtrack to it. And the rest of the sound was fine. Even the silenced pistol was close enough, especially for the day for that era when they were making movies. That was a great sounding pistol for back in the day, and it was close enough to this time. So I didn't mind that portion of it.
Yeah, for me, it's similar. It's especially in the genre we're covering here of comedy. If I'm not noticing things, then we're in the right place. I'm not going out of my way to be like, okay, was this precise to the sound that it needs to be or anything like that. I'm more interested in, okay, where's this scene leading and what's the punchline coming at us here. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's good. It was nominated for Best Director at the Oscars, also
Really?
nominated for Best Writing at the Oscars, and Kevin Kline won Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars for this film.
Kevin Kline won Best Supporting Actor for this film?
Yes, he did.
Well, there's proof it's rigged.
Yes, he did. I mean, again, you didn't connect with him, you didn't believe him, which is totally fair. I felt like he was purposely pushed out of his comfort zone to be a caricature of this pompous American, and they play that in throughout the movie, right? The British
Constantly, yeah, berating him with it.
And so I think he delivered on what was the target of what they wanted to be, this pompous know-it-all American who doesn't listen to anybody, does whatever he wants whenever he wants. I think he did a great job. And that also being said, this was like the first real comedy he was in, so he was like super nervous about even doing any of this. So knowing that as well just kind of adds to like, okay, well, he's certainly committed. You can't say he did not commit to the role in this movie.
I will say, looking up the other actors in the role for that this year, for the Best Supporting Actor, I've not heard of any of these movies. So might have been a little bit of a weak year. I know the actors, River Phoenix, Martin Landau, Alex Guinness, like these got some pretty strong competition there. I've not heard of these other movies going up against it. So maybe that had something to do with it. I'm not trying to take anything away. I think actually Kevin Kline did a pretty good job in this for the cartoon character that he was.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it was definitely a cartoon character, whereas a lot of years it would go to a more serious role.
It typically does.
I unfortunately don't know that I've got a whole lot else to say about this one. I don't know where your guys' heads are at.
Yeah, I've said most of what I wanted. I mean, it's a heist double cross farce, right? Like, I think it's pretty witty. I think it's pretty funny. I do think it was well written, and I think the actors were great choices for the roles that they were in.
Not my cup of tea. I can.
Wait,
very British of you.
Are you? Do you want to say whatever you're going to say for your final thoughts, or are you?
Are you talking to me?
Like you, Brian? Are we wrapping up at this point, or?
I can wrap up, sure, but
okay.
Yeah, we can wrap it. That's fine.
Okay, give me 2 seconds then before we jump to that. If you like what we do and you want to help support us, head on down to our Patreon. There's a link down below. Huge shout out to our executive producers, Real Bubba Hotep and Dino. Thank you guys so much. As well as our head writer who's responsible for picking this movie, Elder JM990. Now, it's worth mentioning that Elder JM990, this is going to be the last week that he's able to spend with us live here at our rating. He's unfortunately, life is taking him in another direction, so he's not going to be able to participate live on Thursday nights with us when we record this, but he'll still be around checking this out on YouTube. And I just want to say, from all of us here at our rating, thank you very much, Elder JM. We really appreciate your support.
Oh yeah.
All right. Right. Oh, you know what? Sorry, before we move on to
What?
the next portion, I also want to mention, because this is the first week that this is here, our rating is now in podcast form on most, if not every,
Woo!
available podcast network, including Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. So if you want to head over to, I've got the link somewhere. Shoot.
The link will be in the description below.
Good. The link will be in the description below. There's a website there. You can go and find our rating. I think it's called Our Rating Movie Reviews, just to make it a little easier to find anywhere podcasts are found. But if you want to go find your specific one, check that website out. All of them should be listed there. We're going to be rolling out the episodes about 2 to 4 a week so that it's not like flooded, but also we want to get caught up so that we're bringing out the new episodes as soon as possible. Go check it out, hit subscribe, give it a 5-star rating or whatever rating you think we deserve, as it'll help get this out to more and more people. And the bigger this is, the more we can do this, the better it'll be. Thank you all so much for your continued support. All right. Wanted to make sure that happened, but let's get that out of the way and move on to the
Did you want me to roll into my rating of this?
Yeah, I think we're ready to wrap this up.
So this movie wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't enjoy it right from the get-go. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like how they were I didn't like that they were characters of themselves. They were just unbelievably naive, and it just bothered me. A lot of the men just being led around by their pants all the time. I felt like it was almost like Jamie Lee Curtis was stooping kind of low for this one. I really appreciate her as an actress, and I just thought it was, I don't know. I guess it just wasn't for me, is what I'm trying to say. From a technical standpoint, I can appreciate this, much like I can appreciate certain musicians but not enjoy their music. I can appreciate that this is a quality-built film, but I just had zero fun watching it at all. I was so glad it was over and very frustrated with it. Honestly, I think the funniest thing in this movie was at the very end, how it said that Archie and Wanda had 17 kids. Like, that almost got a chuckle out of me. But that might have just been my happiness that the movie was finally over. So for me, I'm going to give this one a 65, and most of that is just propped up by the fact that I know a lot of good things went into this film. But if you're not a fan of this brand of comedy, then just avoid this one. But otherwise, if you do like these older comedies, or you're a big fan of, say, Klein, Curtis, Cleese, or Palin, then, you know, go check it out. There's a reason you've probably heard of the name of this movie before. So take a look if you're interested. But for me, definitely not one I'm ever going to return to.
That is a lot higher than I was expecting from this, considering you said this is one of the worst things you've watched on the show.
Oh, the fun was an absolute 0, but across the board, it scored real high in all the other categories. Like I said, technically speaking, this is a well-made movie. It was good in its craft. It's just not what I wanted to watch.
Didn't
That's
hit
fair.
the genre for you, eh?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, I thought you were gonna, no offense,
Tank it.
seriously tank this. And it's like,
No, I mean, I want to be honest, and like I'm going down my list of stuff that I scored it on, and it scores high and everywhere, but its fun factor was 0, absolute 0 for me, painful.
Fair enough. All right. Okay, so for me, this one took a little while to get into. It was a little bit of a slow burn, and it took probably about 45 minutes before I even cared about anything going on in this movie. Once I did, though, like once I kind of invested in what this was and realized how cartoonish it was and how silly it was, I actually started enjoying it quite a bit more. I think the performances across the board, at least from the 4 main characters, are all really, really solid. John Cleese is an absolute master. Jamie Lee Curtis has never looked better, and is also a phenomenal actress. But I mean, the point of her role in this movie is kind of be the all-around sex appeal for all of the men in that universe, and she does a very good job there. Kevin Kline as Otto is absolutely ridiculously stupid, but that's kind of the point of his character. Michael Palin with his stuttering, I could hit or miss. I could have done without at least the drastic nature of it, but otherwise I thought he did very well. Music, neither here nor there for me. Cinematography, neither here nor there for me. Plot was okay. It is a farce of what it is. And then the enjoyment for this one, as I said, it was a slow burn, but once I got on board pretty hard with this one. I am curious to rewatch it, albeit I will take a significant break before I do that. I'm coming in with a 76 on this one. It's not as much higher than Brian's as I thought it was going to be, considering the way he was talking about this movie. I just enjoyed it more than he did, but I didn't love it. It's not one that's going to be in my rotation, but it's fun. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I now know what people talk about when they mention this movie and not Birdcage.
Yes, that's a win in itself.
All right. Okay, so here, one thing, this does not have to be part of the episode. I just wanted to make sure if I missed something. Is there anything to why the fish is called Wanda and the woman is called Wanda? Is that just a weird coincidence?
Doesn't
No,
Ken?
What's the point there?
Ken named the fish after Wanda.
Yeah,
because
he's infatuated with her.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
as everybody in this movie is a little taken by her.
Ken seemed the least infatuated with her. Obviously, he loses the stuttering when they kiss, but other than that, he didn't seem to care as much. I kind of got the impression he'd had the fish for longer than he'd known her, but maybe I just missed the part.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think part of it is George and Ken were kind of buddy.
Okay.
Wanda was with George, so Ken wouldn't ever even like think about that, because he's like, again, one of the only honest, if there's any honest character in this, right? So he wouldn't try to double cross George, I don't think.
Gotcha.
Or to try to get to Wanda. But when Wanda opens it up, then hey, there you go.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
All right. I'm here for Elder JM to put this movie where it belongs. As usual. Just joking. Obviously, everybody's entitled to their opinion. And unlike Brian, I felt the characters weren't just infatuated with Wanda. I felt like everybody in this movie was in it for themselves. And if Wanda was going to give them attention, they're not going to say no. But at the end of the day, I don't think Otto's going to run away with Wanda. I think he's going to leave her high and dry, just like anybody's going to leave anybody high and dry in this. But of course, they're going to play into it, because who doesn't want to kiss a beautiful woman? That being said, I do think that this farce kind of fits the bill. It's firing on all cylinders as far as a farce is concerned. I really enjoy the dry wit of British humor. The side characters, the wife is like so straight edge, and she is reacting to the lunacy of these other characters like we are. And that makes it more enjoyable to me and more fun to watch. These other characters being like, what are you even talking about, Otto? Like, you obviously have no idea what the CIA is about and things like that. So overall, I think if you're a fan of British humor or black comedy, you should check this out. I was holding off on the Does It Hold Up? That is one of the critique or the categories I rate movies on, because Dan and Brian hadn't watched this. I wonder, does it hold up? And I feel like it is losing a little bit of steam as time goes on. So overall rating on this movie is an 80 out of 100. It doesn't quite hold up as well as maybe other movies do. But that said, if you've watched this when it first came out, or early 90s, you were probably on the comedy train along with everybody else.
Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna have that actually ready to go pretty quickly, because there's not a whole lot of math to do there. Shoot, you mentioned something I want to talk about. Do I remember what it was? No, I do not. Just say everything you just said again. Just so
Okay, yeah. So I'm here for Elder JM. Obviously, like usual, I have to put this at the right mark. I think it's a great farce. I don't agree how Brian sees the characters, which is totally fine. Brian thinks that they're all infatuated with Wanda, whereas I feel like they're just getting a little action because it's available, but they will double cross her at the end anyway. I felt every character was like that. And if you're a fan of British or dark comedies, I think this will give you the juice you're looking for. I don't know. What else did I say?
No, I have no idea. I'm surprised you did it at all. I appreciate you.
I will say that John Cleese wanted Jamie Lee Curtis for this role. He didn't want anybody else for the role. He contacted her after seeing her in Trading Places and thought that she could really do this femme fatale character, which is funny because when she got the call, she thought John Cleese was calling for her husband, Christopher Guest, Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap, and all of those mockumentary types. She just assumed because he's into comedy, John Cleese's comedy, that she didn't want to talk to him at all, to her, but to him. So I thought that was kind of a fun story. That
Nice.
she's like, why would you want me in his movie?
All right, so I appreciate you filling the air there. I do see now what it was I was going to say. I didn't realize until literally just now looking at IMDb. It looks like Portia.
Yes, it's John Cleese's daughter.
Is John Cleese's daughter?
Yes,
Interesting. I didn't realize that. Also, I felt really stupid. I'm going to share with the audience because why not? I did the same thing apparently Otto did, where they mentioned Porsche, and I was like, they named her after a car? That's weird. Yeah. And then like they mentioned, like, I think he thinks I named my daughter after a car. I'm like, oh fuck. All right. There's no way to do this, it looks like, without actually changing the scene. I don't think. So just do that and then replace. Oh, I guess you won't see it till it shows up either way, so that still kind of works.
I don't see you, so it got better. Did he just remove himself?
I guess so. Well, that's it, folks. We're down to 2.
Hey. And then there was 2. All right, switch all that around. There
we go.
Awful.
So we're just there. We go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. There we go.
That's good.
All right. To no one's surprise, this movie did not hold up to City of God, which was pretty highly rated, or very highly rated by all 3 of us. But it came in higher than I thought it would at a 74.
Yeah.
You sound so sad.
I mean, I didn't like giving it a 65, but I still have to appreciate it for its quality, for its other aspects. It just wasn't a movie that struck a chord with me. That's all there is to it.
No, that's totally legit. That's totally legit. Again, like Dan said, like comedy is everybody's different on what they enjoy, what they like.
Yeah. Well, also, I actually kind of
that worked.
I like the style of comedy. It's just this exact message wasn't for me.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like in the 80s, you know, goofing around this, you know, cheating on people and things like that was a little more lighthearted, I think, than it is nowadays. I don't think it plays off as much in comedy anymore. A lot of the issues in this, you know, making fun of somebody with a speaking condition,
I think
you could do that a lot back in the day that you can't do anymore. So that does date this a little bit. So those things completely make sense to me why this doesn't hold up. Absolutely.
Well, and at one point, doesn't he? I don't even think I want to say it. Doesn't he use like the F slang on the one guy? Like,
oh, maybe, yeah, because Otto at one point says he's a homosexual, so that he could get to Ken to get information, and it makes him uncomfortable and all that. Again, all things that maybe don't play as well in today's comedy scene, but it is what it is, right?
He did not play a very convincing gay man. Did not play a very convincing gay man at all.
Was he really trying to? I think. Obviously not for Brian. I don't know that. I think infidelity could still work in comedy in today, or at least in movies today.
Oh, sure.
I don't think making fun of
disabilities,
the proper word is disabilities, does. I don't think that plays very well at all.
Yeah.
Or it has to be done with an incredibly deft touch. I don't know. I think that definitely hurt it a little bit, but also that wasn't like a huge portion of the movie. That was really just the one character.
Yeah, for sure.
But
yeah, there's lots of stuff in today's cinema and television about infidelity, and they take all kinds of different angles. And sometimes I can enjoy that programming, and sometimes it bothers me a little bit. I mean, I have reasons why I don't like it, obviously. This one, I think the biggest thing was that Jamie Lee Curtis played a cliche sex symbol that seductress, right? A very cliche one that was very obvious, and it should have been very obvious to the characters in this film that she was not genuinely affectionate towards them, and none of them pick it up, whether they're just looking for a little on the side as they go, or they're following her completely. It didn't even matter to me. It was like duh, she's not into you. Like Otto should have known when he sees her using the exact same Trix voice, seductive maneuvering with the other men, and it didn't occur to him that he was being played. I mean, granted, his character was supposed to be pretty dense, but
idiot.
Yeah, they all seemed rather dull to me, right. And yeah,
Sorry. All right, and that 7 or whatever you guys are up to. Okay, that's our. All right, that's our rating of A Fish Called Wanda, but what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. This was a Patreon picked by the supporters of our Patreon at the head writer level and above. And if you want to head over to Patreon and support us, that'd be wonderful. We'd love to hear from you. And you can get your choice chosen. Choice chosen. Wow, we're just rolling with this one.
Choose your choice. Make your choice chosen.
I like the Patreon pick of the pickers picking from the Patreon.
It's your choice, chat.
I don't know.
Ron's having more fun with this than he did with the movie.
I am. I definitely am. Yeah.
Okay, so that's our rating of A Fish Called Wanda, but what's yours? I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. This is a Patreon pick supported by our Patrons at the head writer or above level. So if you want to head down there, support the channel, you can also have a choice. Yeah, that's a really hard thing to do without just saying the same words over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Try it again. It'll be better.
Yeah, I'm sure. It can't get worse. So that's our rating of A Fish Called Wanda, but what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is a Patreon pick, and if you want to head over to Patreon and support us there, you can also have your movie chosen, and we'll review it on the last Thursday of every month. Other than that, if you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons so that we see you in the next one.
Yay, you got through it. All right.
Yeah, that was rough.
Was there something you wanted me to stick around for afterwards because I showed up late?
I've got another game going.
Oh, okay.
I can't do it while we're live because I need to be able to switch the ratio.
Oh, okay.
So if you've got 5 minutes, I can get rid of the audience and we can do that. If you have to take off, we can do it another time.
Okay. I can stay for a little bit.
Brian, what are you up to these days? You've been working a whole lot lately. Are you gonna be streaming at all in the near future? Anywhere somebody can find you?
So what I normally do is when I have a bad month IRL financially, I reserve the last Friday of the month to do a big not a charity stream, a fundraiser stream to try and shore up my finances, where I basically beat myself up so that you guys can, help me out. But I've been working so hard on some big projects, and I had a really good month. So I am not doing that this month. Thank God. I did not want to stick my hand in a mousetrap or shoot myself with salt rock or something like that. So I'm glad I don't have to do anything like that. Unfortunately, because I am so busy working, I'm not doing anything but R rating these days. I just can't find the time to get into the studio. That kind of sucks. I miss being live. I miss playing games with people. I miss just doing stuff in front of the camera. And so that kind of sucks, but it's also nice to be able to keep the lights on at my house. So maybe next month I'll have some more time to stream and you guys will end up seeing me the last Friday of the month doing something deplorable to myself. But for the time being, you'll just have to catch me here on Thursdays.
Very nice. What about you, Will? What you got going on?
Tomorrow is Friends Friday, so I think we're going to be ripping into some more 7 Days to Die. We started last week, and it was hilarious because we had to start all over from scratch, and then chat can decimate me so much easier. So that's always fun. But I also got an email from Twitch saying it's peak week, so might have to play some peak because if I stream with somebody on peak, we can get some badges or something unlocked for that, and chat can get badges for that. So that could be fun as well. So those might be some things happening tomorrow.
Does that mean you have to do stream together on Twitch to earn that badge?
Do a stream together, yes.
Well, you hate that, though.
I know, but what better time to give it a shot than for a good cause?
See, I think that if you are playing the same game and everybody can hear everybody in game, which if you're close together in peak, that does work. Then I think stream together functions well and works well. If you're playing different games, doing different things, or you're too far away, or there's no, you can't hear what's going on, you end up with multiple things going on in chat that don't make any sense to certain people, and it becomes a little confusing.
No, I think you're absolutely right with that. The unison of being in the same game and actually interacting with each other makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was rash to shut that down in my previous streams, so that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. All right, and this Saturday I'm going to be playing. I think I'm going to be playing some Borderlands with a buddy of mine, a real life buddy of mine, as well as probably some audience members. So that'll be a lot of fun. And next Friday, so not tomorrow, but the one after that, is going to be the start of my 3rd anniversary stream. This is going to be a charity event raising money for Alzheimer's Society of Canada, I believe that it is. We're probably going to get that charity running a little bit sooner before the anniversary. So if you can't participate on October 3rd and 4th, you can still donate to the charity. There's going to be a donations tab. All of the donations will obviously go directly to the charity. But don't subscribe or give bits, stuff like that. Just give the money directly to the charity so that they get as much as humanly possible. We'll be doing a ton of stupid stuff and fun stuff. I've got a wheel of games, wheel of karaoke. I've got some stuff that will probably more embarrass me than hurt me in real life, as I am kind of a wimp like that. But make sure you're here for 8 p.m. next Friday to go check that out. I'll be live for 24 hours, all raising money towards a good cause. Make sure you come and hang out with us. Where'd the wheel go? There we go.
Have you guys got to play Borderlands 4 yet?
I played it 2 Saturdays ago. I got it like pretty much as soon as it came out, and I enjoyed it with the limited amount of time that I had. But unfortunately, it only works on the PC, so I have to be like sitting here. Like I have a Steam Deck, and it will blow the thing up, so I can't use it on that. So if I'm not streaming, I try not to sit at this computer. If I'm not streaming or editing, I try not to sit at this computer. And so I just really haven't had a chance to get too deep into it, but I've been enjoying it so much so far with the limited amount of time that I've had.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Borderlands franchise. The only one I didn't like was the prequel thing, the one on the moon. I didn't like that. Yeah, pre-sequel. I really enjoyed Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I thought that was a fantastic spin-off game to the franchise. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did.
I didn't play that one. I really liked 1 and 2. I didn't really care for 3. And so far I'm enjoying 4, but I'm not really far into it. I see Bridget is saying she'll be there. She has it, which is awesome. I think I've got you as a friend as well. We had the first time I played it, I was playing with a couple of different people from the chat, which is really cool. So hopefully we can get a couple more people out. But I know I've got an IRL friend who I've been friends with since like grade 3 or something who has the game. And I was like, I've been trying to hang out with this guy for a little while. Maybe we just hang out online. So that'll be fun. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Oh, 1 second. What was...
Are you going to raid over to Run?
Probably not, because he's just going to leave anyways.
I can stay live. If we're going to do something, I'll just stay live.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could be
unless you want it to be a secret. Then I'll stop streaming.
No. I don't care at all. You can embarrass yourself.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'll just keep streaming live and until I'm done in the studio here.
Cool. Okay. So I will raid Run and Run 7 there. Start raid.
B Rich says they're not playing Borderlands with you. They're gonna be there for your charity stream.
Wow. Okay.
Which is better. Let's be honest.
It is absolutely better. I just want to be there for your charity stream. Why won't you be there Saturday morning?
Fart face.
Why don't you like us?
See a fart face.
Wow.
I'm not paying AAA prices for these recent releases, even though I think Borderlands 4 and Battlefield 6 are good. That's totally fair. It was an expensive game, and I kind of regret it just because I haven't been able to play it very much. But I do enjoy it when I do play it. So it's a double-edged sword because like I've got such a ridiculous backlog that I probably should just start playing some of the older games. And I did just do a review for an older game, a Metroidvania, which is something I want to do more of, more reviews for Metroidvanias. And it's doing relatively well as far as the small channel that I have goes on YouTube. So I do want to do more of that. So I don't really know why I spent $100 on Borderlands when I've got so little time to play it. But, well, we'll see. Your parents are coming to visit. I guess that's a good reason. All right, we're going to raid out. I guess I don't have to actually say goodbye. Just raid out and keep going.
Yeah.
So.
We'll all be, you'll all be on the same spot.
Sure. All right, I will end the stream on my end, though, but we'll continue hanging out over on Run's channel.
Woo! Thanks for the raid, Monguli.
Oh, you're so
Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
what? Crazy. All right.
I'm just gonna stick around to watch Run dominate me again in this.
Oh, is this a movie trivia game thing?
It sure is.
All right, I'm excited.
You sound excited.
I like the first one.
So
Yeah, I think they're fun.
the problem that I have, I was talking to Will about this offline. I'm so far behind on editing. So like last week we're like, oh, this week we're talking about The Conjuring. So here's some haunted houses. And I'm like, it's gonna be a month and a half before The Conjuring episode comes out. So now I've got like these 2 edited games because I've got yours and Will's, and I can't do anything with them for like a forever because I say at the end of them like, check it out this Thursday at our rating.
Right.
They're like, you'll be like, hey, where's the episode? Be like, come back in November. So I've got a week off after the anniversary, like kind of anniversary to Canadian Thanksgiving. I'm gonna try and get a bunch of our rating episodes done then, and I might just even put them out like twice a week just to try and get at least somewhat caught up because I hate being this far behind.
Yeah.
So again, I made a video, or the game is somewhat centered around a fish called Wanda. And then again, it's like, oh, I can't use this for so long. I'm gonna like have time to edit these and just sit on them for a long time. They'll come out eventually, but like I should have made this based on Beverly Hills Cop 3 somehow.
I mean, honestly, you can kind of do the Patreon picks anytime you want. They don't go in order with the franchises. So like you
That's
could
a fair point.
you
That's a fair
could
point.
skip ahead with the Patreon picks and just throw those out if you need to.
No, actually, that's a solid point because yeah, that because it won't even mess up the poster. Because that's what I was worried about. Is if I bring out The Conjuring right away, then the accountant is on there, and people go, "Wait, what? Where'd
Yeah.
that come from?" But yeah, this won't mess anything up. Yeah, you're right. That would help. I still want to get the other ones done and caught up, but
Sure, yeah.
all right. We're gonna do this. And I'm gonna get rid of Will in as much as
Bye.
he'll still be in the background. He can hear us and see us. We just can't see or hear him. And same thing, I'm gonna move you to the top because you're the one actually playing the game.
No, I am a top.
I mean, that kind of works. I'm a bit of a switch, so there we go. All good. Okay, so my wife will love that. Okay, so, oh right, I have to actually switch it to recording. Give me 1 second. This week on our rating, we're talking about A Fish Called Wanda, which is a comedy all about a drug heist. Oh my god.
Might have been funnier if it was.
Right? This week on our rating, we're talking about A Fish Called Wanda, which is a comedy all about a diamond heist. So for this one, I've got 5 different diamond or jewelry related photos to show Run to see if he can guess the movie based off of one image. Brun, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I guess I have to be, huh?
Yeah, you don't really have a choice on this one. All right, starting off with the first image. Do you have any idea what movie this could possibly
Oh,
be?
that's easy. That's easy. That's the big ship, Titanic, right there, right? Wait.
Okay, good.
Wait, hold on.
Good save.
Hold on. Blue fingernails? This looks like maybe like a Batman movie, and that's Mr. Freeze?
Okay, do you know the movie?
The Val Kilmer. No, not Val Kilmer. This was George Clooney Batman.
Yep.
I don't know the name of the movie though. It's the George Clooney Batman with Schwarzenegger playing as Mr. Freeze. That's what I'm gonna go with. I don't remember the movie name.
And
Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin, and of course, yes, that is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
Mr. Freeze there.
Is that the one where Robin has that crazy funny line where he says, "Holy rusted metal, Batman," and Batman turns around and goes, "What?" And he goes, "This island, it's rusty metal, full of holes."
No, I think that's Batman Forever.
Batman Forever, the other forgettable Batman.
Yeah. All right. That was, I think, the easy one. So we'll see where we go from here. Do you recognize this movie? That image is so small, I apologize.
Ooh, I know I've seen this before.
I'm positive you have.
That's not Sean Connery holding the
It is not
jeweler's lens. Okay.
If it helps, I really like this movie.
gosh. I don't know. Like, I'm drawing a blank on this one. I have no clue.
Really like this movie. No?
If you really like this movie, it might be something I haven't seen. But you say I've seen
No.
this?
We've talked about this one before.
Oh man.
I don't know how to give.
I don't know. Gosh, if I could figure out who that guy is holding the magnifying glass.
You'll recognize him, but I doubt you'll know the actor's name. I don't know that I know the actor's name.
I can't get this one. I just don't know.
What if I give you the full image?
Oh, this is Snatch.
This is Snatch.
The Snatch.
Oh.
Okay. Should have known that one. Should have known that
was
one.
trying to
Because
help
then
you with, like,
you're right. I don't
really
know
like
the
this
actor's
movie.
name, but as soon as I recognize his face, yeah, that's Snatch. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Number 3. Can you get that one?
That one almost looks like Titanic, but maybe not.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it is Rose. Okay, it is Rose with okay.
I thought you were a little more confident on that one. I was going to just give it to you before we had to go on.
It just looked a little smaller than I remembered it, but maybe that's how things
when
go.
You said the first one that's the size of a person's head. You're like, that's Titanic. I'm like, just to wear that on a necklace, buddy.
It
Like,
it looked like the scene when the old lady throws in the ocean and she's got them little shriveled hands. That's all. This one, I don't. With Billy there in the shot, I don't remember that. So okay, but yeah, Titanic.
The only other picture was the one with the little old lady with her fingers, and I was like, that's really obvious.
Yeah.
Oh well. This next one is the only one I don't have a bigger image for because you're seeing the entire image.
Okay.
And again, unfortunately, it is a little bit smaller, but does that ring any bells for you?
A fistful of gems like that. And that's the biggest image we've got of those jewels, huh?
Unfortunately.
I know I've seen this
I
movie.
didn't realize how small it was.
It's ringing bells.
I think I talked to Will about this movie before, and I know he's a fan. I'm not 100% that we've discussed this one before, but it is, I'll say it's a classic. Certainly a childhood classic.
If it's a, I don't know, like, I want to say something like Goonies or something, but I don't remember any jewels. I just remember them like with the gold and stuff, but there was a pirate scene. There's a lot of stuff in there. But I don't have a clue, so I'm gonna go with Goonies. Just throw it out there, see what I got.
It is Goonies.
It is?
It is Goonies.
Okay.
Well done.
What? This must have been when they were on the pirate ship and they were just surrounded by treasure or something,
I
right?
believe it's at the very, very end.
Okay, yeah, it's got to be that then.
Yeah. All right, and the 5th and final one, going back to looking at some cleavage. Any idea that is very distinct?
The first thing that comes to mind is Pretty Woman, but that necklace is too ugly for what she wore in Pretty Woman, right?
I tried to find the Pretty Woman one. I couldn't get a really good shot of it. I couldn't get the shot from the
Okay.
scene that I wanted to, at very least. So no, not Pretty Woman.
I normally can recognize cleavage better than this. I'm drawing a blank on this one though, so I don't know.
What if I give you the full image? Does that help at all?
So that's gotta be The Devil Wears Prada?
Is not The Devil Wears Prada. This one is one. I gave Will this hint, so it's fair to give it to you. This is a movie we could do on our rating because it is part of a franchise.
Part of a franchise with what's her face? I'm not a big fan of hers, so I don't know if I've seen this.
Fair enough. That's unfortunate, but it's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the ding on it, even with a big picture. I don't know this movie.
This is Ocean's 8.
Ocean's
Arguably a
8?
spin-off, but yes, it's part continuation of the Ocean's franchise.
Okay,
11, Ocean's 13.
I'm not sure if I saw Ocean's 8. I think that's the one I missed because I've seen 11, 12, and 13, but I don't think I saw Ocean's 8, so that might be why. I don't remember her being in an Ocean's movie, so I guess.
She's, I think, the one that they're doing the heist on, as opposed to one of the heisters. But I could be
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
I've only seen it once. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, that last one was, I wasn't going to get that one. At least the others are ringing bells. That one was like, huh?
1, 2. So I'd say you got 3, which is on par with what Will got.
Okay.
All right, I don't think
9.
an outro because we don't really even need an outro for these. It's kind of just because the last time I was trying to cram everything in and it's not super necessary. So
You're just gonna edit this down anyway, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take the outro out because of the length of these things. They
Right.
have to be cut down to 3 minutes, and we're at 7.5 right now. So there's gonna be a lot of ums and dead air taken out and trying to get to where we need to be. But anyways, that's the one for this week. I might try. I'm gonna start.
That was way tougher than
Agreed.
the poster number 2s. That was way tougher. Is Will still with us?
Yes, he is.
There he is.
I agree. That one was hard. That one was hard. You did way better than me, I think.
You both got right around the same, just different movies.
I
Will
can't
got
believe I got the Goonies one right. That was an absolute shot in the dark. When you said a childhood classic, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with my instinct on this one and go Goonies.
I think that's
Goonies.
pretty much what Will did as well, though. I don't know, neither one of you were super confident on that one. You were just kind of like, it looks maybe like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only movie I could think of that would have prop gems like that was like the Goonies from the 80s, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, I might try and do a couple of those, not necessarily for next week, but for at some point in the future, and just have them ready to go. Maybe try and line them up with The Accountant or The Accountant 2.
Right.
Because we did actually, we did do The Accountant 2, and that one didn't work. So I could do the number 2s again and just get rid of, just not use the same 2s that I already did.
The same images, or use the same images and make me look better than I am.
There you go. Just fake it.
I'll
It'll be
still
like
forget.
an
I'll
8-second
still be
video.
like, oh, I have no idea. I still don't know this. And I'll be like, wait, we already did it? Damn it.
Just do the same video every week. Okay, Brian. Will, sorry. This is the same one. What's this 2 from? I don't know, E.T.? What the fuck?
Shrek? Is it Shrek?
Does E.T. have a sequel? I don't think it does.
I don't know. That was the joke.
No, that was the joke.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. I'm assuming you're going to be logging off in the near future, Brian? Or you?
Oh yeah, if we're done with the game, I think I'm going to be done going. I got piles of dishes to do. I'm supposed to be a stay-at-home dad, but I'm currently working 2 jobs, and so I don't get a lot of my chores done, and I don't get a lot of sleep because I have to do dishes and laundry a lot right now. And yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do is log off and. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna let the dishes pile up. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
All right, thank you all so much for hanging out. It's been great chatting with you guys, as it always is, and we'll be back next week for The Conjuring 2. I don't think it's got a subtitle. I think that is the entirety of the name.
Yeah, thank you, Elder, for the movie. I appreciate it.
If you came to Brian's channel from my raid, please give him a follow. He's fun. He's not on very much anymore, but when he is,
and yeah, I'm on Thursdays for R rating. Never miss it, But I'm gonna send everybody over to a new streamer that I have started watching. I met this person completely randomly. He goes by Ryu the Red, and he's actually a pretty interesting streamer. So I'm gonna send you guys over there, and so hang out, see what they're at. I like to try and actually raid people who are hopefully interesting. Unfortunately, like one time in 5, I send you to somebody who speaks the wrong language.
I've done that.
I forget to check that. So yeah, check him out. See what you think of Ray the Red, because I've kind of found him pretty interesting to watch. So catch y'all later. I'll be back. Probably the next time you guys see me will be Thursday. My kids keep wanting me to do kid streams. I don't even have time for that. So it'll probably be next Thursday for The Conjuring 2.
Sounds good. Have a
Thanks,
good week, everybody. Bye.